Hi, this is Ask Brock. I'm Brock Yordy. This week's question comes from Cameron. Brock, I have a young driller that continues to plug the bit. How do we work through this? It's completely fundamentals, right? We need to start thinking about how and why. There's lots of situations. So let's go with penetration rates and our ability to be able to effectively clean the hole. At what depth are we seeing the bit being plugged? There's nothing fun about mud rotary tripping out and the entire time breaking rods and having mud spray all over the place. So we got to look at our rate of penetration. We got to look at our rotation. We got to look at the cutting action of our bit, our uphole velocity. What does our bit wear look like? Are we wearing out the skirting and the size of the bit faster than we are the teeth, exposing those bearings? That's telling me we've got a lot of solids that are building up, and that possibility of, as I'm drilling, if I'm building up and I'm penetrating, how are we getting those things up and out of the hole? The same as, let's say I get to 150 feet and I've had a really poor solids control program, and I've now gotten up into that 9.5 to 10 pounds per gallon mud weight. You know, I'm going to 5 to 10% solids and greater. If I'm drilling and trying to remove solids out of the hole, but at the same time, I'm forcing solids back at the bit face, I'm creating something. Sticky materials. Best thing I have learned is to grab a stopwatch, hand it to my driller, say, listen, this is our pump output. I want to maintain that 150 feet per minute uphole velocity. And while I'm doing that, think about how long it takes for the cuttings to go from the bit face to surface. And then time it. If that's 3 minutes a rod, great. If that's 4 minutes a rod, that's what we have to. We're not going to overcome gravity, physics, and science. We always want to get the bigger hammer. We always want to turn the mud pump up more, but we got to think about the degree of influence that we're having downhole and how we can cause inadvertent returns to the borehole structure starting to collapse in on us, you know, big erosions into plugging the bit, sticking drill rods. We can do it in all forms. That when we break that drill rod and we start seeing drilling fluid come up back through the rod, and we're quickly trying to get the next rod on from the carousel, that's displacement. Those are solids settling, and you basically have a poor version that you don't want of reverse circulation, where the density on the outside is able to push down, and you have those solids coming back up in through our orifices, our jets, or a torched out bit, and that's causing that plugging factor. That's a great question. We need the right bit for the right application. We need the right bottom hole assembly. Just recently heard an old dog go, Brock, we don't have to talk about bottom hole assembly at this time, the 21st century. Of course we do. It's something that we haven't been talking about enough, and we need to have the right stabilizer. We have to have the right weight on bit. We have to have the right rotation along with pumping action, if that's a fluid in a mud form, or if that's foam, or if it's straight air. And then we have to understand the expectations of gravity and how we overcome that. And we remove those solids to the surface, and then how we remove those solids from going back down the hole. Good luck. I'd like to see some photos. Let's see what else we can get into.